Hello and welcome to this session of Covens and Dragons. We are a coven of crafters who met on the internet, and when the group decided that they wanted to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons, I stepped up and said I would run a little campaign for us. My name is Colette, and I will be your dungeon mistress for this evening. We are adults playing an adult game, and as such, this session comes with warnings for violence, sexual situations, drug use, alcohol use, inappropriate language, emotional damage, general shenanigans. If you are a child, this is probably not the place for you to be. Let's get started with character introductions, starting with Aniira.
Hi, I'm Heather. I play Aniira Corvus, a Tiefling rogue assassin who, in her spare time, instead of practicing for poison dart shooting, is learning to twerk.
Atreya?
Allison, I play Atreya Galanodel, what else sorcerer who maybe doesn't have daddy issues. Maybe she has uncle and granddaddy issues. Breaking some generational traumas here, apparently.
Maybe. Borgie?
Hi, I'm Christine. I play Börghildr Vancehammer, an Outlander dwarf barbarian who was raised by wolves and enjoys hitting things with her emotional support hammer.
Jillie?
I'm Coral, and I play Jillie Faregrain, a Lightfoot Halfling rogue, and I'm a baking apprentice traveling away from home for the first time with all of my friends.
Well, technically the second time now since we time jumped.
Ah, yes. So many travels.
Many travels. Nano is played by Katie, who let us know that she will be unavailable for the foreseeable future. So, have a good nap, Nano. We'll miss you. Thalia.
I'm Margaux. I play Thalia Silverthorn, a half-elf cleric who, I guess, I don't know, I can't think of anything. I'm sorry, I'm brain dead.
It's alright. Moral compass,
It's been a long day at work.
etc., etc. Verna is last but not least.
I'm Jessie. I play Vernitas Cobblepot, a chaotic bisexual stout plump halfling bard who runs on short patience and baked goods. I like long walks by the lake with attractive mermaids and cats who shit gemstones.
All right. And Allison is up for our recap. What did we get into last
I
session?
have to ask Jesse a question real quick. So are you walking in the water and the mermaid is swimming along beside you? Like, how's that working out?
I feel like she kind of stood up a little bit when we talked to her a little bit, right? I don't know how that worked, but
maybe like far enough out that she was like.
I don't mind getting my feet wet for her if that's what it takes to walk alongside her.
Just like I need to have the visual, you know.
Yeah.
So last week, we spent 2 weeks ago, spent the entire episode on one morning. We are packing up camp and having. Nope, that's the wrong day. 2 days.
I thought you guys did a little bit more than just the one day.
Yeah, it started raining and we kept going because time. We are on a deadline with the orb to get that to Aniira.
I think you missed a day.
Did I? Day 28 and 29.
Didn't we do bubbles last time too?
No, that was the time before that.
Oh, was that the time before? Wow, maybe? You guys really did. Okay.
No, that was last week because I was late because of the idiots. 2 weeks ago, whatever, you know.
Last session.
Oh, that was last week. Or, well, yeah, last session. Oh, amazing. Okay, so we did 3 days. Anyway, so it rains. We keep going. We find Max the kitty, whose name is actually Bubbles' parent, who may or may not be named Juan. And find out that Bubbles goes searching through tunnels. And we've apparently been feeding Bubbles trash. You know, Kraft mac and cheese and Reese Pieces the whole time. Not the organic stuff. Juan was quite upset. But, you know, Bubbles was happy. Bubbles was well fed, and fed is best. And then the next morning, we see a cloaked human-sized person off in the distance as we're finishing our last watch, and it turns out to potentially actually be Atreya's father. He does know Atreya's name, which is improvement over the last two. And he, despite all of the subterfuge, ill-fated subterfuge, he does know that Atreya is sitting in the tent hiding, even though her friends say they don't know her. And we get to ask him a lot of questions, like, one, what's his name? And two, why did he abandon Atreya in the woods? Which is because her mom died, and he couldn't take her back to the cult. We find out that the cult the master can't know that I exist, or he will kill everyone. And so the other members of the cult are trying to kill me, but then I killed two of them, and now they're like, oh, maybe this is a different problem.
Yep.
And he gave me a sending stone, and I have a question about that for you, Colette.
Yes. Sending
as I was
stones.
reading about it. It said, so reading about it says, while you touch one stone, you can use an action to cast the sending spell from it. Do I have to have that spell in my
Nope. You just have to
known
have
spells?
both stones, basically.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought, but I wanted. So if I picked up the next time we level up, because sending is one that I can pick up, if I picked that up, I wouldn't need the stone, but it would take a spell slot.
That's correct. And I think sending does it not have a distance? Maybe it doesn't have a distance limit.
No, you can even go like across dimensions.
Different planes.
Even with just a spell?
It's just it
would take a spell slot then.
You just have a limit of 25 words.
Yep. And it's not a ritual, so you'd be burning a 3rd level spell slot.
Okay.
Which, a lot of times what people do is they just do it like as they're going to sleep. When they have someone they run a troll. I've had a couple of parties who have done that. Send runic messages.
So you immediately get that spell slot back. That would make sense. No point in doing it first thing in the morning.
In the middle of the night. But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, if the master dies, the clone spell ends, and the entirety of the Brotherhood would stop existing, but Atreya would not because she is not a clone. And we ended with him still with us, so that we could ask any questions we thought up.
Yep. I was going to have him leave, but then I thought it'd be nice to let you have an extra minute with him, since that was, the whole point.
I'm glad you did, because we definitely never asked him about the compass.
Yeah.
Despite saying we should ask him about the compass like 5 times.
Yeah. I'm going to drop you guys in the world map, not that we really need it, but just because it's a nice background. And what would you like to ask Elord?
I want to ask him how the compass works. How it is it possible to be tracked the other way? Should we get rid of it?
Okay. He explains that the compass is a powerful magical item that the master made for the Brotherhood to assist them when they went on missions. He says that the Brotherhood doesn't have a way to track them, but the master might. They're not really sure.
Can we ask him to point out where on, like, more specifically, but not exactly where we are on the map? That makes sense?
Oh, goodness. He would look at your map and kind of grimace and say, "Wow, this map is really not filled in. You're missing most of the foothills and all of the details around the Hag's Pond but we're about here." No, come on. Select. I can never do this. Just going to give you a little circle because I can never figure the thing out.
Isn't it long click?
It doesn't work on my computer for some reason.
Are you on the wrong layer?
Oh, that's what I'm always. There we go.
Did he call it Hag's Pond?
Yep.
Do you happen to know the hag who lives in the pond?
The hag who
Minus
lives
the
in
two
the
on
pond?
screen.
I've encountered her once or twice.
Are you familiar with her magic?
Thankfully not particularly. Why?
Well, she gave us a gift to bring back to a friend of ours who she also happens to know. And as attractive as she is, I don't know how much I trust this gift. We don't want it to harm our friend.
Why do you think it would harm your friend?
Well, we just met her and she seemed pretty powerful and didn't give us a lot of detail, was kind of cagey about the whole thing.
What detail did she give you?
That we had 30 days to deliver it. And that it was mostly harmless, I think is the way she put it.
Did she say that it was a gift?
Atreya,
I
do you
thought
have
she
your
said
notes?
it was like a prank.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
He thinks thoughtfully and says, I would believe that it will not harm your friend if she explicitly said those words. Hags are very particular about the wording of their deals. Usually to their benefit. But if she explicitly said your friend would not be harmed, then I would believe that. Now, as to what your friend has done to deserve a prank from a hag, that is an entirely different question.
Well, she also pissed off the trees, so I think it's just an attitude problem.
Interesting.
Do you have a better map that we could take back with us?
Unfortunately, not with me, no. We have some in the Brotherhood's library. There are some brothers who have lived here for an extensive period and have taken up map making themselves, but that is not a particular interest of mine.
Do any of you remember the name of the map maker that we found this map from? Or it's on his name?
I have it in my notes, but I don't even know
Let me.
when that was.
Asgarth.
Yes, that's it. Does Asgarth ring a bell?
Oh, yes, Asgarth. I met him. It's been a while ago. I'm not sure if he's still alive. He was a very good map maker. He came by this area. Did he make this map?
Yes, as far as we know.
Ah, that explains it. I wouldn't be surprised if, when he came here, one of the brothers talked him into being a little more obtuse on the details. This isn't an area we particularly want people coming to, you understand.
When I was small, someone in a cloak gave me a shovel. Do you know who that was and why they gave me a shovel?
Unfortunately, dear one, after you left my care, I cannot answer any questions for you. It is an oddity, I agree. It wasn't anyone from your town, Tillendale, was it?
It was a guy in a cloak with his hood up. I don't know who it was.
Maybe it was a
That
farmer
was
playing a prank?
before I got to Tillendale. Who
Maybe
knows?
one of the wolves thought it would be helpful for you. They do take on their human forms occasionally.
Maybe they knew one day I would need it to amputate a dead guy's hand.
Again, the kind of like frowny lines, and he's like, "That's a very interesting use for a shovel. I, did you not have any better tools available?"
The disappointing dad look.
It was the most handy at the time.
I see. Handy. Yes.
Do we want to ask him about Hyacinth's situation?
Yeah. I forget, is that drow magic? Is that what we decided it was?
Yeah.
It was fairy magic.
Yeah, it was
Was
fairy
it?
magic, but it was fairy magic, but it was too drow, maybe.
Maybe.
People trying
There
to
was-
pass or two people
They
trying
were,
to pass off as
yeah, but they were speaking an older fairy language.
That certainly sounds like fairies to me. You know they can shapeshift, right? They can change their appearances.
Is there any way to reverse their magic?
It sounds like they may have placed a curse on an object in your friend's possession. I would assume that
We
the
believe
reversal
it's
would be destroying that object. Anything else for Ellard?
Would that object would have had to have like been on her body when she was cursed, or just like generally in her possession?
That depends on the power of the spellcaster and what specifically they're doing. Usually I would say something like that would have to be in contact with them.
she does have her necklace that she wears as a collar.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it might be her
But
necklace.
she also is pretty attached to it, so I don't know if you want to destroy it.
You gave me this necklace that is, if I go to 0 hit points, I come back with 1.
Yep,
By you giving it to me, does that mean that you no longer have that protection?
that is correct, dear one. The spell is within the amulet.
Well, shit.
Don't we have another one from that other dead guy?
You do. But does it work if you've stolen versus if it was given to you as a gift?
Are you asking?
Yes.
Yes.
How you get the necklace shouldn't matter. It's just having it within your possession.
The one who has that? Yeah. I'm going to give Ellard his back because I have the one from the other guy. JR 32 or JM 17. I don't remember which one it came from.
If you're
I
sure
just
that
have
you
it
don't
written
need
down
it,
as
I'll take it back.
Do we have any more questions?
the only other things I have written down that we talked about in the Discord were does he know Pog, which technically we're past that that storyline, so I don't know that it's relevant. And are we close enough to Whisperleaf to go see the Tree City? But also, like, we are on a time deadline here.
Do you want a minute alone with your dad, Atreya?
No. I'm good.
He kind of starts nervously looking outside. He mentioned previously that, like, the brothers are used to him going on these long walks in the morning, but it's starting to be a little bit later than he'd normally return.
He needs to go. We'll bury the compass in the woods on our way back, just in case the master can track it.
If you have no need for it, I could take it back to the Brotherhood.
Where will you say you found it?
I won't. It will simply show up. There is no identifying detail for this. It could be brought in by any number of brothers.
Even if it has Atreya's blood, they can't tell it came from somewhere else.
I'll be sure to use it for several days before turning it in. It should be safe enough. They have no reason to check the compasses. They have no reason to believe that you would know how to use one.
In that case, I'm going to give him both the necklace and the compass back.
Okay. He kind of nods at you and stuffs the compass in his pocket. And then he says, "We're set on Gravedigger as a passcode."
Yes.
Let's see. Is Gravedigger one word or two word?
I was just going to ask you that.
I would argue, well, Gravedigger 2 words is a monster truck. Gravedigger is one word in the dictionary.
And on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm. 2 words is a monster truck, which you wouldn't be referencing. So good, that's one word. He kind of nods and ducks out of your tent. I will send you messages if it seems pertinent. And he kind of waves and starts to walk away from your campsite.
It's okay if you cry, Atreya.
Atreya is just like watching him walk away as everybody else is like finishing packing up and like getting the day going.
Orgy puts her arm around Atreya.
Emotional damage, emotional damage.
Werner offers Atreya a cinnamon roll, which are quite stale by now, but hey, we still got them. If you warm it over the fire, it'll be better. Won't
Did
be
I
so
have
stale.
you roll for how many you had at the start?
Yes.
Do you
I
remember
had,
what that was?
I started with 20 and we've used 2. So I still have 18 now stale cinnamon rolls, which might be a weapon by the time we get home.
You've only
Aren't those
used
like
2.
6 weeks old?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
real stale.
I know. Oh, wait, we've used 3. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I feel like you've probably used more than that. And you really think Verna's been holding on to them and not taking a nibble every now and then? Especially when they were still fresh?
You're probably right about that. I'm probably down to like 5, but I'm giving one to Atreya. How about that?
That's fair. Okay. So, what would you guys like to do now? Are you gonna try to go to Whisperleaf? Are you
Can you remind us what our scheduling plan is? Were we going to time hop back to Tillendale and then next session pick up the Pog story? Is that right?
That was the tentative plan originally.
Oh, okay.
How many days do we have before we have to get this orb thingamajig to Auntie Isla?
It has been
We
1
are
week.
on. Yes.
And we have 2 months. I looked at the notes for that.
Yeah.
But how many total weeks did it take us to get here?
6.
So if
So
we
if
don't
we
leave now, we're
Turn
out
around.
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
And if we
turn
run
around
into
now, we're at
anything,
7
like any issues, we're going to want to have a little buffer.
Yeah.
Although, did we
Mm.
decide we're going to go back on the road?
Yeah, but
Or-
it's still to us uncharted, so we assume it'll save us time, but we don't really know.
If you manage to find Winrath, it would take you about 2.5 to 3 weeks to get back on the roads that you won't know and have traveled before. If you don't get distracted.
That gives us a week to get to Winrath.
And
No.
that's being distracted.
3
isn't it?
weeks to get to Winrath.
If the weather's good and you don't get distracted.
You sound just super confident in our ability.
I mean, last session you got through a whopping total of 3 days.
I watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie last night, and all I kept thinking to myself was this would take us 6 months of campaigns to get through every week what they got through in that movie.
I mean, if you think about it, we started this in like
October,
October. It's been
9 months.
9, 10
9
months.
months, and we've
Not a race.
Not a race. We have spent as much time avoiding battle as we do battling, so it's a win-win.
All right. So what's the plan? Are you going to risk it and go to Whisperleaf?
I think if we go to Whisperleaf, we're going to get too distracted, personally.
I agree.
I think our best course of action is to find Winrath.
And then we can go home and then we can make fresh cinnamon rolls.
Yes, and we can stop eating these rocks.
Yep. We can sleep in our own beds.
That is true. All right. So it's still pretty early on this day. Are you guys packing up and heading out? Back the way you came? That's the plan?
Sorry.
Christine, you're on mute. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
I feel like we should get as far away from this compound cult thing as we can, because like
As
what if
quickly as
something-
possible.
Yeah. What if something? I don't know.
What if they send out
I
a team
agree.
to search because he was
Mhm.
late getting back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to GTFO.
Yep.
Okie doke. So you guys are booking it. Who is leading the way?
Well, Jillie mentioned fresh cinnamon rolls, so that would be me.
Make a survival check, Verna.
Oh, hell. Why did I do that? Ooh, 24 with a nat 20.
Very good. It didn't. Oh, wait. It did rain yesterday. But you guys kept going. So even through the rain, Verna, like, had her eyes open yesterday and was, like, noticing things. and manages to get you guys headed what you all think is the right direction. And the rest of the day passes fairly uneventfully. Are you guys keeping watches? What's the plan?
Yeah, we better.
Okay, what's the watch schedule looking like?
I can take the first.
I'll take the first with Jillie.
Okay, second?
I'll do the second.
I can take it with Thalia.
Okay. And that leaves Aniira and Börghildr for third. Yeah. Okie dokie. First watch. Make your perception check.
You want me to do it?
Oh, I got it.
Already done.
16.
16?
Yeah.
Seems pretty quiet in the woods. Well, relatively quiet. I mean, animal noises, etc. Things moving around after the rain. Second watch?
Do you want to roll? Heather?
Seems like a fine night. Third watch? Yep. Nope, nothing. All good. Nothing to see here. Nothing at all. All right. And the next day, Aniira, make a perception check. $14. Mid-morning, you hear some shuffling in the bushes.
Bubbles?
Do you investigate or do you keep moving?
I'm going to respect my friend's wishes to not get distracted by the cute, fuzzy animals or rock hard kitty cats in the bushes.
Okie dokie. Ignored. Who is leading the way today? Make a survival check, whoever's doing it. $17. Börghildr does a good job of leading you back the way you came. And with your new determined walking and not having bubbles with you, towards the end of the day, you come across the dead circle that you guys passed on your way here. You can just keep walking around it if you want.
Does it still look dead?
Super dead. Nothing seems... Well, make a perception check.
Ah, sorry. Oh, that was a nat 20.
Yeah, it looks exactly how you remember it. You can investigate more if you want.
Or we just walk around it because that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I say we walk around it because it's the end of the day and we don't necessarily want to like make camp right next to it, I think.
Oh, that sounds extra scary.
Yeah.
We want to get a
keep
safe
going
distance
and
away.
yeah.
Okay. You guys are able to get past it. You end up setting camp up a little bit late if you want to get past it and put some distance between you and it, but you're able to do that and still get camp set up before it gets too dark. Are you guys still doing watches?
Yep. Same schedule. I'll roll for the first one.
Okay.
18.
Okay. You again hear some. You hear snuffling in the bushes. Aniira said she heard something earlier, and you guys just kind of walked past it. This is like distinct animal noises.
The only thing that worries me is he mentioned shape-shifting. So, like, what if a bear isn't really a bear?
Well, what if it's
like depending on the shapeshifter here, like if it's one who doesn't spend much time in animal form, like they probably wouldn't be good at like animal mannerisms, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like that bear was probably a bear.
And they'd be like, "Oh, I'm a dog. Bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
Look, I'm gonna wag my tail."
Hey, I'm gonna ignore him.
Ignored. Second watch?
Well,
12? All seems to be fine in the woods. Third watch?
15.
Nice quiet night. You again hear animal noises.
I again ignore them.
Okie doke.
I have learned my lesson.
And you guys wake up and you head out. And when you're about 2 hours into the day, it starts raining. Not too bad this time, kind of a light shower after the big storm.
I say we
Who
keep
is-
trucking through.
Who's leading the way today? Make a survival check for staying on. On task. 16. Oh. Okie dokie. You guys think you're staying on track? And everyone roll a d12, please. What do you want? 6, 12. Ten. 3 and 12.
Börghildr, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Said I can hold down the space bar to talk, and that's what I've been doing, but I guess it doesn't like it. I was just saying that I'm using the Roll20 app on my iPad for my character sheet. It's pretty great. I like it. I mean, it's easier to use than the one on the computer.
I agree.
I like that, at least with the iPhone app, I'm assuming it's the same with the iPad app, that you can like mark off what spells, like spell slots you've used to keep track of them easier.
I had a hard time getting my spells into Roll20, so I used the D&D Beyond app, but either way, it's easier than the computer one.
I just copy and pasted them from the internet.
I know, but when I tried to enter When I tried to enter like the attacks and stuff, it just didn't do it right. I don't know. I must have done it wrong.
You have to change. There's a setting you have to change in it with each one.
Oh, I didn't do any of
From
that.
spell card to attack.
Yeah, I didn't do any of
Figure it
that.
out.
Also, like if you use paper, look how cute my spell or my sheet is.
It is cute. Yeah, and it's in a sheet protector, so it doesn't get all bent corners like mine have.
Yeah, mine's a hot mess.
Mine is too.
Atreya,
Yes.
your sending stone dings.
Motherfuckers.
Gravedigger. Just saw hydrangeas. Reminds me of the cabin we lived in when you were little.
Aw.
Jillie's just sitting on the ground crying.
Find a good therapist now before we to, then
Sorry, I'm trying to remember what Colette said in your talking so that I can write it down for Katie. Can you repeat it? Just saw hydrant.
Reminds me of the cat house.
The cabin we lived in when
The
you were
cabin.
little.
Can I cast Cure Wounds on emotional damage? I am going to offer Jillie a stale cinnamon roll, though.
My tears will make it no longer stale.
Yeah, now I'm lovely and moist.
very salty.
That's all right. Savory is sweet.
When you get a message through the sending stone, does it do the little like iPhone text message ding?
I'm gonna say it's more of like a vibration.
Got it on silent mode.
Yeah.
Are you going to respond?
I don't even know what I would respond to that with.
Her emoji. Crying emoji.
Purple heart. Kitty with tears.
Oh man, what did we do before emojis?
We didn't have thoughts or feelings. Well, we had thoughts. We just didn't have emotional feelings.
Or easy ways to express them.
Yep. All right. Aniira, make a perception check for the next day. 4. You don't see nothing. Who is leading the way?
I'll lead again.
Okay. Do a survival check for navigating through the woods.
17.
17. Berna seems to be doing a pretty good job. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okie doke. Are you guys still keeping watches?
Yep.
First watch, make your roll. I'm just going to assume you're keeping the same order.
Do this one.
Yep.
23.
Jillie, as you're looking up at the sky, listening to the sounds of the woods, you see a shooting star.
Oh my god, Verna, make a wish. Make a wish. There's a shooting star. But don't tell me. 'Cause if
Okay,
you tell
okay.
me, then our wishes don't come.
Bubbles coming back.
Oh my gosh.
This is the best night. Oh my gosh. Okay, not the best. The best was the mermaids. But this is second best.
Second watch. Make your check.
17.
17. All seems quiet in the woods. Third watch. It seems like Börghildr and Atreya are probably having a therapy session instead of actually keeping watch. Just a little bit. And that's next day. All right. Atreya, perception check. No. Who's guiding today? Make your survival check.
You guys want me to do it again? Okay. 12.
12. Okay. You're still heading roughly east, hoping you get to Winrath.
We have to cross the river on our way to Winrath, right?
Correct.
Okay. And we haven't made it to the river yet.
Nope. Okay. Atreya made her perception check for the day. Verna made her. And late afternoon, it starts to rain again.
How bad? Is it like a little rain or like a deluge?
It starts out little rain,
That's a word, right?
and it stays
It
little
is a
rain.
word. It
Okay, great.
was a good one.
Thanks.
I think we can trudge through little rain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke.
We are on a deadline.
Let's go through watches. First watch.
Oh, that's me. Sorry. 22.
22. It's rainy. The animals seem to be hiding out, but it's a pretty calm night besides that. Watch 2.
Five.
Thalia is maybe lulled to sleep a little bit by the storm. It's fine. You guys have been walking for a long time, to be fair. Everyone's probably a little bit tired. Third watch. $13. Nothing to report. Okie dokie. Yes. All right. Next day, Verna, make a perception check.
16.
Okie doke. Who's leading today? Make your
Go
survival
ahead,
check.
Aniira.
There's Atreya. Okay.
Aniira.
Or Aniira, sorry. Alrighty. You guys keep heading. And right around lunchtime, all of a sudden you guys come to a clearing, and you're at the cliff where the river is.
Is this where we met the dead frog guy?
Make a perception check.
13?
You don't see the corpse, but I mean, it looks similar.
Nobody touch anything. Just
Never again.
So, what is your plan now that you've made it to the river?
Is there a safe way down the cliff?
What?
Is there a safe way down the cliff?
I mean, you probably could make your way down the cliff, but at this point, the river is actually pretty wide. So you'd have to deal with fording a relatively large river.
Can we follow the cliff and the river north until we can find a safe crossing?
You can.
Where on the river are we? Can you show us on the map?
Mm-hmm. So you think you went pretty much due east. Because east
So
is
kinda
a
right at the
relatively
fork.
easy direction to find, so you think you're about here.
Okay.
I mean, if crossing the river is dangerous, couldn't we just follow it all the way back home?
Well, if we can get to Winrath, we can follow the roads back home, which will be quicker. We won't contend with the woods and animals and
Well,
mud
yeah,
and rain.
but also I don't want to drown.
Yeah, I don't either. I would rather wait to see if we can find a
I
crossing.
think we, follow the river until we find a better place to cross.
Yeah.
I'll know how it goes in the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get dysentery. We don't go in the river.
Interesting. Okay.
We go in the lake with the mermaids just fine, but not the river.
Mermaids.
Sorry,
Get
Vancehammer.
impregnated in the
Fording
river.
every river, climbing every mountain. Sorry.
I grew
Oh,
up by the Sioux River, which is polluted with farm manure and chemicals, and you just did not touch that water. It was probably glowing at night.
I'm sorry, is there a river in the Midwest that isn't?
That's true.
mhm. So
Very true.
it's about lunchtime when you hit the river. You're heading north, you said? Looking for a place to cross?
Yes.
That's what you guys decided? Okay.
Is that wrong?
Just as you're about to make camp, you come across a bridge.
Danger Bridge.
How safe? How sturdy does it look?
Did we see this bridge on the way here?
You did pass it on the way here.
Does it look pretty sturdy and safe?
Make a perception check.
5.
Verna's vast knowledge of architecture and, structural engineering says probably.
Do we want to try to cross it tonight and make camp on the other side, or wait until daytime to see if it looks better in the morning light?
Can I, for absolutely no reason at all, cast detect magic on this bridge and see if there's anything sketchy going on with it?
Sure. You're checking to see if it's like an illusion.
Yeah, because I know I can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nope, it is not an illusion. It is late at night, so you guys really can't see it very well. But it looks like it has like handrails. Like it's not just like a rope bridge dangling. It's like a bridge that someone built, and it is not magical.
How deep is the water here?
Pretty deep. I mean, it's moving quick. It's a pretty big river.
And it's the middle of the night. I don't think we should cross an unfamiliar bridge in the dark.
Well, it's like
Yeah, I think
I
we
think
should.
we should wait till morning.
It's like dusk, right? We're getting
yeah,
ready to
it's
set
like
up camp.
late dusk. You guys had to push it a little bit to get to the bridge.
Let's not
Right.
take any chances. Let's just wait till morning.
Yeah.
And look at it. Yeah.
Who knows? There might be a troll under the bridge.
Oh my
Look
god,
at the
maybe it'll be
rolls.
friends with us.
Would that be
Alrighty.
great?
First watch, make your roll.
Is
Got
it
it.
magic this time or yours, Verna?
Mine. It's mine. 16.
Alright, everything seems fine. Second watch. Four.
4.
You don't see anything. Third watch. 19. You notice that the bridge looks like it could be smashed pretty good with a hammer.
You're on mute still.
No, I'm not. I just wasn't
You
being
were.
loud enough.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. All I said was I love smashing stuff with my hammer.
Yeah, this wooden bridge looks
Okay,
pretty
well-
smashable.
Atreya would like to point out to her dear friend Borgi that maybe we should wait until we're on the other side of the bridge before we smash it with a hammer.
Okay. That's fair.
Okie dokie. Borgie, perception check. For the next day.
7.
Okie dokie. And who is leading today?
Should Aniira lead with her slippers of spider climb in case said bridge decides to fall? She's gonna hopefully stick to it.
You can spider climb across the bridge. Sure.
I like that idea. That's good.
So Aniira goes over the bridge first. Yep. Make a perception check. As you're
21,
crossing,
an extra.
yeah, pretty good. You hear a couple of creaks and groans. But you notice that on the far side there is a very clear path leading to the bridge. On the side that you just were, it's a little bit less worn. It looks like maybe there's a couple of diverging paths. But on this side there is a very clear path. This looks like it's probably the main road between Winrath and the rest of the southern cities. And this bridge
Guys, if
does not collapse.
Is it possible we're being too paranoid about the bridge? I don't,
Always.
That doesn't sound like us, but like, you never know.
Anything else, or are you guys just crossing?
Verna runs across. Once she sees that
Let's
Aniira
go.
has made it across, I just bolt straight across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a dex check.
Mm.
Anyone who's sprinting.
Mhm. 5.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Anyone else?
I got a nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. Verna, about halfway across the bridge, it gets a little bit slippery. And you biff it
Mm.
big time
Mhm.
and take 3 points of fall damage from
That
eating
checks
it
out.
on the bridge.
Yep, that checks out.
Jillie, Verna's just a couple steps ahead of you. You see her slip, and you slow your pace down a little bit to not eat it.
which is
I'm going
not
to yell back at the rest of the group. Slippery when wet, like your mom.
Like your mom. All right. So you guys are across the bridge. You're now on what you're guessing is the trail to Winrath. Yeah? Are you staying on the road? How are you traveling? This is like the first thing in the morning. How are you traveling on this road?
Did we talked to Daddy Atreya and he what did we I can't remember what we decided about the like assassins that are after Atreya. Do we need to keep hiding her?
No, they won't be coming
He
after
said
us
that-
for a while because they don't realize
Yeah.
that the others are dead yet.
Okay. Then I think we just travel by road. As quickly as possible.
Try not to make too much of a fuss.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. So you
We are just
Our heads down.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to help anybody today.
Yeah, we are just 6 people traveling on the road.
Unless they're pooping gemstones.
Or sexy sirens. I don't.
So on the trail, are you guys continuing to keep watch?
Feel like we
Might as well.
probably
I feel like we
should.
should because,
We're
like,
used to it.
what if the squirrels attack?
Or we get robbed by other bandits
Yeah.
on the trail or something. I don't know.
Do we have highway robbery here? Probably.
I feel like we've committed it, haven't we?
Yeah, you did break that guy's cart, which
Yeah.
wasn't looked too kindly upon.
We
Was
could have
asking
stolen
for
from him
it.
if we wanted to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And about the time that you guys are setting up camp, it starts to rain again.
Mother trucker.
gross.
This time it's a big boom rain.
Gosh. Can we find a place to make camp that's a little bit covered, protected?
Make a survival check.
18.
Yep, you guys managed to find some pretty good coverage in the woods. Just a little bit off the trail.
If I do a watch tonight, it's still considered long rest, right? I get my 3 fall points back from slipping on my ass.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Talia's not
Jillie, you want to roll?
going to help you with that at all.
It's okay. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I got a 9.
9?
Oh.
Yeah, the big booms make it kind of hard to hear anything else. Second watch?
$20, not natural.
20? You're able to kind of hear what's going on in the woods around the storm. The thunder is maybe dying off a little bit. Not too much going on. Third watch?
Atreya, is it you or me? I can't remember.
Eight. Not really noticing anything. Okie dokie. Next up is Jillie. Make a perception check.
20, not natural.
Yep. Throughout the day, you hear some animals snuffling around in the woods. Nothing really approaches you, though. Okay. You guys still having watches?
Like we can probably, like maybe every other night, or
Every
just
other
let
night?
it go.
Yeah,
Mhm.
about how far north do we think we are?
Well, we crossed the river, so we're following the trail, which we assume is going to Winrath.
You guys think? Come on. Goodness. Give me the zoom. Goodness. There we go. You think you're about here-ish? You haven't had to cross that. Well, you haven't noticed that second leg, but you don't know if that, this is an old map. Who knows what's still there?
Maybe it's only there in the spring.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was there 150 years ago, and it's now moved and joined the main flow. Okie dokie. Next day, Thalia. Perception check.
$11.
It's still pretty gray when you guys wake up. Or it's gray again, rather.
I think unless there's a deluge, as Borky said, we keep moving.
Okay. It does start sprinkling on you midway through the day, but nothing that you guys can't handle. And at the end of the day, you guys end up in Winrath.
We did it.
You did it.
Hooray!
Would you like to stay in the light fowl or the cool pillow?
Is this where we could stay on Aniira's daddy's dime?
Yeah, this is the one where
Anders
Yeah.
was.
yeah.
I think we liked the cool
Cool
pillow
pillow.
last time, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds so nice. We get to sleep in beds, like real beds with blankies. Huh.
Real beds.
Do we think Aniira's dad would be okay with that again, or should we see if we can trade in a gemstone in exchange for gold or whatever the currency is in this town to pay for it? Because
Aniira is with us.
That's true. That's true.
Always just apologize.
Yeah.
Aniira's Mouth has always spoiled Aniira to some point, so she votes that we just stay and ask pardons
Real
later.
beds.
Okay.
What's the worst that can happen? He smite us?
He could
And he
make us do another
definitely
dirty
makes-
job for him. We could work it off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys
I
can
don't
stay at the
trading
inn.
for money.
It's pretty nice. You tell them to put it on Malthus's tab. They don't blink. You do see, you recognize one of the workers from the last time you stayed there. She waves at you guys. Clearly, she remembers your group. It hasn't been that long since you were through. And you guys next day can get up and travel on. It's about a day to get to the Silver Saddle. Do you want to stay in the Silver Saddle?
Might as well.
Yeah. Okay. Again, no issue. You guys can put it on Malthus's tab. They don't bat an eye. And you can get up the next morning. Anything you guys want to do at the Silver Saddle?
A big breakfast.
Breakfast.
Food.
Okay,
Coffee.
no problem. And just like you remember, it's a long day, but you can get to Yaris in a day. So, back in Yaris, where do you guys want to spend the night? Are you going
Can't
to?
we stay at the mansion?
You guys want to go to Malthus's manor / Aniira's house? Everyone's agreed? No problem.
Yeah, it's going to make the inns look like mattresses on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm. And you guys can make liberal use of the facilities. And are you guys trying to do anything at the manor?
Was there anyone we needed to check in with? Like, who's the guy with the caravan? Did we leave any messages with him or ask him to pick up a message for us?
Oh no, we sent a message to Daddy about the spies from the Brotherhood.
Yeah. We should probably check in with him about that.
So you're looking to see Malthus?
Maybe
When you
he
get
could
in
send word
or
if he
in the
sees
morning?
the spies.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I was going to say it was see if he could send word if he sees any of the spies from the Brotherhood in his area.
Okay.
He said let's wait till morning. He said it's
Yeah, I
pretty
think wait till morning.
super
long
late, but
day.
late, right?
We could always ask Michelle at the counter when he would prefer to meet us.
Michelle sees us walk in and he's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
These heathens are back.
It's not even his name, but that's what we call him.
And as you guys you guys just kind of like blow past Michelle, right?
Yeah.
And as you guys walk past him, he says, "Remember, guests are expected to dine with the master in the morning. Do not be late."
So this is a B&B.
Yeah. Let's do that in the morning.
So you guys will be woken up relatively early for breakfast. And when you get in, Malthus is already at the table.
Hey, Dad, surprise, we're here.
Aniira, wonderful. I thought that I heard some commotion last night.
Yeah, we just spent like 6 weeks in the woods. We thought we'd have some comfortable beds and hot water.
Understandable. Do you have
Day
any
42.
interesting information to report to me?
Yeah, there's a brotherhood that like has a bunch of clones of people, and they keep trying to, attack for no reason, really.
Yes, I received your note along those lines. Can't say that I've had to deal with them much before. I have heard tell of a conclave, but I didn't realize they were active in these parts. I thought they mostly kept to themselves and their magical studies, whatever they do.
Do you think if we gave you a description that you and your band of homies could keep an eye out and send word if you happen to see any of them in Yaris or any of your other territories?
What threat do they pose to my business dealings?
It's more a threat to your daughter and her friends.
Interesting.
They've already attacked us once.
Do you have an image of this person?
Well, technically it was twice, but the first time, like, he got offed by the other guy.
That's true. That's true.
So, they're clones, you say? So they all look the same?
They do.
So we
Except
should
some of them have scars and others don't.
Well, that makes some degree of sense, doesn't it? And they'll have different experiences, even though they are clones. Describe this. Wait. I know something even better. And he rings up the bell for his assistant and asks them to bring an artist. That's all he says. He says, "Bring me an artist." And bring the artist to them when they arrive. That's it. That's all he says. And he says, "Well, you'll be able to describe this person and hopefully have a poster drawn up. I will be able to distribute it in my territories, but if they are hunting you, I doubt that they will be easy to spot."
Yeah, but your homies are so skilled at what they do.
Also, one of them isn't, because one of them is my father.
One of them isn't a threat?
Correct.
Well, that will be very hard to determine. Do you want me to keep an eye on them, or do you want me to eliminate them?
Keep an eye on.
I think
for now.
Yeah, keep an eye on.
Because we don't want them to get suspicious when they just start getting offed.
Yeah.
I will issue
Keep
the
an eye on
command. All information regarding whatever image you get drawn up will go directly to Aniira. Do you have any other interesting information to report to me?
Sidebar: did we tell Daddy about Hyacinth? The fact that we have a cat that's pink. That
She was with us last time we were here.
what did we tell him though that she was not a cat before? Like that is Hyacinth.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he knows.
I think she walked on the table and we talked about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Shine
nano
his lap.
trans.
Okay. Should we let him know that we basically got confirmation that she's probably cursed, that something she owns is probably cursed, and it's probably her collar? Or are we going to not tell him that?
I mean, if we go back to her and give her the choice of staying a cat or destroying her collar to see if we can turn her back, I don't think we need his help with any of it.
Yeah, I think we
Nor
give her the option first.
Yeah. I also don't think he cares. It's not going to make him any money, so.
Well, Hyacinth was his herbalist.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why I thought about it, because she's his herbalist. My brain went to she's his dealer, so.
Right. I don't want him to influence her
probably-
decision, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him to pressure her to make a decision one way or the other. Even though I'd really love if she were a cat.
Yeah, I think we need to give her that information first.
Okay. Do you have anything else to report to me?
So much has
The
happened since we were
maker
here
of the-
last, I forget.
The maker of the clones was his name Vargas? Are you familiar with him?
Bars.
Varus. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He's the master of the Brotherhood, we found out.
Isolating himself in the wilderness, that explains why no one's heard from him in a while.
If you know what he looks like, you know what all of his clones look like.
Well, I have never met him. I have only heard of him.
Oh, okay.
I don't deal too much with the academics, as it were. I have underlings who handle that for me.
Homies.
Well, as always, you're free to use the manor. I have business to attend to now. When the artist comes, have them revise the poster until you are satisfied. And he gets up, leaves the room, and as he's walking out the door, he looks back and says, "Good to see you, Aniira."
I say thanks, Daddy, and wink at him.
Okay. And he goes to do his work for the day. And about a half hour later, one of his aides comes in with, they say, the artist, and kind of put them down at the table with a pile of paper. Who is describing the clones to the artist?
I say we let Aniira start.
I was going to ask, can I use prestidigitation to make a little like figure of what they look like?
Ooh, like a bust.
Yeah.
You know?
As if I can just make animals.
Like between that and copying your bone structure, tweaking some hair, we could be spot on.
I think that's, well, an illusory image that can fit in your hand.
It's not that much different than like making Borgie's little forest friends.
It only lasts until the end of your next turn. So you'll have to keep recasting it multiple times, but it's a cantrip, so...
It's a cantrip.
I will allow it, but you'll have to make a check to see how good your image is. How skewed your perception of your father is. Let's see. How about... let's do a performance check. I think that makes sense. Since you're presenting information to other people. 16. Atreya does a pretty good job. Maybe the nose is slightly different shapes as she pops each image up, because each image only lasts for about a minute. But on the whole, you would all agree that this...
Like Entangled,
Yeah, like Flynn Rider.
Different notes.
Yeah. But on the whole, it's a pretty good likeness. And the artist takes about 15 minutes to draw up a poster. And he shows you the first draft and asks if you are all satisfied with it. Who is checking his work?
I will.
Make a perception check.
Mm-hmm. 4.
It's a beautiful drawing but you're not convinced it looks all that much like Papa Atreya. What do you say?
Don't we have his skull?
Not with us, do we?
Yeah.
You do have the one skull.
Made Atreya carry it because it's her dad.
Yeah. Well, it's not anymore, but it's a clone of him.
Uncle.
Right. I'm going to say that his cheekbones need to be a little bit more chiseled, his eyebrows more severe, and his chin comes to more of a point. Plus his ears are a little bigger.
The artist gets to work again. This time he takes closer to 20 minutes. It's a pretty quick. They must have actually found an artist who does portraits. He's actually getting through these pretty quick. And who's reviewing his work this time?
I will.
Perception check.
5.
Again, it's a very nice piece of work, but there's something that just isn't quite right to your recollection. What are you saying to him?
I'm going to go take back everything Verna just said and say go more the opposite direction.
Conflicting. Okay. He kind of furrows his brow, and this time it takes him 15 minutes to complete a drawing. Atreya, give me another performance check for these images that you have to keep maintaining, because it's been over an hour now that you've been conjuring. Atreya is holding
19.
on to that image of her father in her mind, and she's staying pretty solid, man. Pretty solid. Who is reviewing the poster this time?
I can.
Perception check.
Five.
I mean, it is one hell of a good-looking man looking back at you.
We're nothing if not consistent.
Are you going to give the artist any critique?
I'm just gonna look at the little like bust that Atreya has, and then look at the painting that the artist made. And then I think I'm gonna look at Atreya and just say, I don't know what you want us to do. I feel like this is as good as it's gonna get.
Consensus?
What if we change? What if the artist changed the expression, like made him a little bit more angry?
Yes. Furrowed brows and intense stare.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Atreya, are you changing the bust to match this image that Börghildr's suggesting?
Yes.
Make another performance check then. Yeah, this is probably the weakest. Maybe Atreya doesn't want to think about all the clones and how they look like her father and how angry they are, but it's still pretty solid. And with just a few critiques, the portrait artist gets this one done in 5 minutes. Who is evaluating his work this time?
Borg, you do it.
Is that perception?
Yep.
Ah! Sorry, I got logged out. Hold on.
Yeah, another 5.
I thought I got logged out.
Because he has rolled very well on his drawing checks. So, Börghildr, the poster. You want to punch it.
I hate this guy.
You hate this. You want to smash this guy so bad.
I pull out my little hammer.
Yeah, for a split second, you forget that this is a drawing and not the real person. And you wind up to swing, and then the artist kind of ducks behind the poster. And you're able to collect yourself.
I grab the hammer just in case, like, hanging from the head of the hammer and back of Börghildr.
What do you tell the artist?
I think this is it.
Very good. Very good. Can I go home now?
Can I give him a stale cinnamon roll to thank him?
You're giving him a stale one? You're not going to the kitchen and getting a fresh one?
Gosh, I feel bad giving him a stale one. I don't want to give up a gemstone, though. I will offer to walk him to the kitchen to get some baked goods and a cup of tea.
Okay. He'll come with you, and as soon as you leave the room, his shoulders drop.
I assure you, Börghildr didn't mean any harm. We've had a rough couple of weeks.
It was very alarming to be woken this morning and dragged here.
I'm very sorry.
I do hope that this is helpful for whatever you have to do.
You could have very well saved our lives, so we really appreciate it. Let's get you a cup of tea and a nice place to sit to calm down.
That sounds very nice.
He totally thought Malthus was going to smite him.
He did. Feeling kind of bad right now.
As he's walking away, Börghildr growls at him.
I shoot Börghildr a dirty look.
But he'll go to the kitchen and he'll sit down for a cup of tea and a cinnamon roll, no problem. Aniira, Malthus put you in charge of this. He said that he would distribute it as the regions reported back to him. But what information, what are you saying you want? What are you writing on the poster? You have the image now.
What do we want to put on this, guys? Do we want them just to report that they've seen them? Kill on sight?
I would say potential risk to the Malthus family. Report any sightings directly to headquarters.
Location and date of when sighted.
Yep. And how many, and warning, you may encounter more than one individual that looks like this, or something to that
You guys
effect. There's
have
gotta be
those billboards that are like wanted, like not necessarily wanted, but like, do you have any information about this person?
Have you seen, like on the milk carton?
Yeah, like have you seen
Yeah.
this person?
Yeah.
We do not have those. We have ones that say hell is real.
Oh, we have those too.
And then the next one is the 10 Commandments.
Ours goes straight into anti-abortion propaganda.
Oh, and then don't forget the adult store ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Jesus,
have,
Jesus sex toy. Jesus sex toy.
Ooh, ours are Jesus sex toy, Jesus dispensary.
Oh, those aren't legal, but there's a bill up for it, I think.
Oh, are you guys going
Yeah,
to get
I
a
think
vote
it's
on
on-
it?
Theoretically, in November, I think, depending on
The majority rule that goes through in August, right?
the August one.
Interesting.
They're waiting right at the border because Michigan it's legal, and so there's so
Yeah.
many right at the border of Ohio and Michigan.
It's like
I drive across the border.
lottery
and it's like,
tickets sold here, billboards on the Alabama
Yep.
border.
Yeah,
Yep.
fireworks on the Wisconsin border.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Is there anything else you guys want to do in Yaris at the manor?
I feel like as long as the painting and breakfast took, do we stay another night before we head out? Like, what time of day is it?
It's a little after lunchtime.
We're heading back to Tillendale, right?
Yep.
And don't we have like 5 weeks now to get that thing to Auntie Isla? We made
It's
really good time.
been almost 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So we have about 3 weeks to get to Tillendale.
And it takes about 2, right? Generally.
In your limited experience of making the trip twice, yes. Maybe more for some of you.
Is there a caravan going out in the next day or two that we could tag along with?
You're gonna go check?
Yep. I'm going to go check.
So you
I
guys
think that's
know
a good
that
idea.
when Tornak comes through with the caravan, he usually stays at the Silver Dwarf, and you guys know where the Silver Dwarf is. So it would not be difficult at all for you guys to go. Let's see if Tornak is there. Nope.
Dang it.
Do we want to trade in some gemstone boots and see if we can get a couple horses? Or a wagon?
No, because the last time we had a wagon, you made Börghildr tow the whole thing.
With
Yeah.
the horses, though. With horses.
And we have less to drag. We don't have anything to carry with us.
Just
to
ourselves.
haul.
But you don't
Yeah.
have Nano to insult the horses, so...
Yeah, none of us are enemies of horses.
She'd be so jealous, though.
Do you want to do some shopping? Are you spending the night, or are you just going to hit the road?
Let's spend the night and then leave in the morning, fresh and rested.
Okay.
With a fresh batch of cinnamon rolls to take with us.
Just a
Well
fresh
fed.
batch of cinnamon rolls.
Mhm.
Are you guys doing anything else while you're in town, or not?
Aniira is going to sneak out and visit with that person she visited with the last time when she was absent and nobody asked her about except for Malthus.
Very good.
What? Oh, we're going to ask you about it this time.
There was a whole backstory that Colette and I were like working on, and the only person that asked was Malthus, and that's the daddy. So I'm not gonna just.
Oh my goodness.
So, Aniira, So, when you're in the manor, Aniira has, like, a bedroom that is hers. But there are also, like, guest quarters that are, like, not quite as nice, but, I mean, still really nice, and then they have access to the baths and whatnot. And I guess I've been assuming that when you guys stay in the manor, Aniira normally sleeps with everyone in the guest quarters. Do you think that would be true, Aniira? Or do you think you'd be hopping in your 4-poster canopied bed?
Definitely hopping in her own bed.
Okay, so Aniira doesn't normally sleep with you guys, which isn't unusual. But make a stealth check, Aniira, for getting past the guest quarters without anyone noticing you.
The stealthiest one in the book. What the
Yeah.
heck are we going to recognize?
Oh yeah, no. This is Aniira's home. She knows every board that creaks. She knows the greasiest window to open and climb out. And she's done this many times. Y'all do not
Been
notice
sneaking
her.
past Malthus for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume if I'm wanting cinnamon rolls and quite a few from the kitchen that I'm getting up extra early to acquire said cinnamon rolls.
Or are you asking them during the day that you have left to make them so that they're ready for you to go in the morning?
Yes, but I still would get up and go to the kitchen because that's what I do at the inn.
Oh, you're assisting?
Yeah,
You can
Jillie and I
assist.
head down there, I would think.
Sure.
I'm just thinking like, maybe we happen to catch Aniira coming back in.
Aniira, you know when the breakfast bells ring, and you know that your father would expect you, or Malthus would expect you, to be at breakfast. How close are you towing the line? Are you coming back at like 2 and grabbing a couple of hours of sleep in your bedroom? Or are you staying out all night and just coming in for breakfast?
Just coming in at
Brown chicken,
breakfast
brown
time.
cow.
Okie dokie. Verna, make a perception check.
10.
Okay. Verna comes
Busy in the kitchen.
a little bit before the breakfast bell, which isn't that unusual. You've seen her go out in the gardens in the morning before. Everyone else make a perception check for when you get down to breakfast. Jesus, guys.
You're really good at perception checks. Really, really good.
Really good.
In another universe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jillie, you notice that Aniira is wearing the same clothes that she was wearing yesterday. And you guys all wear the same clothes most of the time, but like at Malthus's house, where you have the ability to get things laundered, it's not unusual for people to be wearing like bathrobes around. Also, when you're at Malthus's house, Aniira has a full wardrobe to choose from, so it is a little weird that she is wearing the exact same thing that you saw her in last night.
So I just like go over to Aniira. I'm not gonna make a scene. I'm just gonna be like, why didn't you change your clothes? You have comfy clothes here. Like, why aren't you in your comfy clothes? Like, I'm very much
in the room.
I'm home. I'm in sweats, like cozy, comfy, and Aniira's in her house where she
Lounging
can be
in jeans.
comfy.
Yeah. Lounging in jeans.
Jeans
Red alert.
situation in the morning.
Malthus was
to
there
breakfast.
before you guys got in again, but he has some business people taking breakfast with him this morning. He acknowledged you all, but he's not paying any particular attention to you guys.
Okay.
Well, like I was fairly quiet too. Like I didn't want to be obnoxious because I know some people really like their jeans and uncomfy clothes and whatever you wear when you're being uncomfy in our universe. But I was still just like concerned about Aniira's well-being because comfort.
Jillie, make a stealth check.
9, 10. Wait,
10.
math. That's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, 13.
That was a lot of numbers.
It's a 13 at the end. I'm so sorry. I like did most of that math in my head, but then I was looking at the wrong number the first time. Everything's fine. I'm thriving.
Would you like to borrow my calculator?
By the way,
You guys don't know how many times I put my fingers down and like count on my fingers like under the screen.
13.
You need to
Final
take off
answer?
your shoes for that one.
13 is the final answer.
As you,
That's why I
as
let
you,
roll 20 do it.
oh man, as you like whisper talk this to Aniira, Malthus holds his finger up to his business people and kind of looks up at you guys, interested. Did someone stay out all night?
Oh, I had some friends that I needed to catch up with a little bit as I'm like rebraiding the hair that's like normally in nice tight braids. It's kind of disheveled.
Malthus gives you a knowing look and goes back to his business meeting.
I very loudly drag my chair over right next to her and lean in close with an eyebrow raised. So, what really happened?
I'm gonna try to kick Berna under the table and be like, we can talk about this on the road. Not in front of Daddy.
I had someone to practice my twerking with last night. That's all, you know.
Yeah. You're going to have to spill the beans on the road.
That's all good. Okay. So you guys can have a nice breakfast. I'm assuming you hand the poster off to Malthus or one of his aides.
Yes, I give it to Malthus, but I also hand another version to his assistant that likes to sneer at us a little bit and make sure that he knows that he's doing this for us.
Okay. Michelle takes it, and Malthus has already made it clear what to do with it, and presumably it's going to get done. I mean, you guys aren't going to stick around to follow it, so. And after your second night in the manor, you guys are hitting the road after breakfast then?
Yep.
Okie dokie. So you can hit the road, and what I'm going to have you guys do is roll to see how many days it takes you to get back to Tillendale. So everyone, please roll a d6. Okay.
We just need Borges.
Oh, I did it. I rolled a 5. Didn't it? I'm doing it in the app. Is it not going into the chat? Sorry, it was a
that
5.
One didn't. Most of them have been, but that one for some reason didn't. Okie dokie. Let me do a little bit of math here. So with weather and not really distractions, but like running into people on the road, you get back to Tillendale towards the end of your 10th week of your journey. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 weeks have passed since you got the little Orby package thing. And you make it back to town without incident.
Well, we need to hear this hot goss from Aniira.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Let's hear the hot goss. And this could, obviously you guys have the ability to talk during your multiple weeks on the road.
Oh, it's no big deal. I've been friends with this person for a long time, and he used to pull my tail. And it turned into other things.
Okay, way to be stingy with the details.
Now he pulls your tail,
Or
but you
does it
like it.
Yeah.
What does he do?
Does he make a helicopter with his tail?
Where do you think I got the idea for Borgie?
Verna doesn't need any more details. I'm reacting as if my favorite team just scored a touchdown or something. Like, this is the greatest news ever. I'm high-fiving. Being obnoxious.
Yeah, well, Hallie needs more details. What does he do? Does he work for your dad?
I mean, what does it matter?
He doesn't smite people, but he does kind of work for Malthus.
Is he another assassin?
No, no. He works in the he works in the kitchen.
Have we met him?
Probably.
Does he have whiskers?
Haven't gotten that far. No whiskers.
Thought maybe it was the cat man.
Pants whiskers?
Nope, just regular whiskers.
Oh, okay.
Aniira fills you all in on her booty calls that she has been having periodically while you guys have been in Yaris. And I think this is the first time anyone's...
Well, she does
But
keep
she's-
rolling 24s for stealth. I mean, it's hardly our fault.
But she's still not telling us who it is.
So he works in your dad's kitchen?
Yes.
He works in a kitchen.
In the
What
manor?
kitchen?
Yeah, what kitchen? In the manor?
The manor kitchen, yes.
And we maybe met him.
I mean, I do frequent the kitchen.
I don't super pay a lot of attention to the NPCs, I will be honest.
We hadn't really talked about he's not someone that has actually been
Okay.
consciously mentioned.
He doesn't like live on the ground, does he?
No.
But maybe next time we're in town, we should take him to like Unicorn Lion or something. And isn't that the name of the strip club?
Bitch Treasure is the strip club.
Bitch Treasure.
How could you forget that, Verna?
I don't know. It's been a while. It's been weeks and weeks of travel.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
So much has happened.
Many things have happened.
Okay. Do we have time to see Auntie Isla?
Do you guys want to do that, or do you want to call it here?
Can we call it?
Yeah, let's call it.
Let's call it, but before we do, Atreya gets out her sending stone and sends a message to her father. It says, Gravedigger, home safe, no troubles. The church has hydrangeas outside it.
Do the rest of us know about this message, or is it secret daddy-daughter message?
Did you see Mistress's face? Fuck.
Are you telling everyone you're sending this message, or is it just secret, Atreya?
It's not really secret, but it's like if you like paying attention as we're walking, you see Atreya like counting out words like on her fingers.
But you wouldn't have been
Gotta
like,
keep it
hey
under
guys,
25.
I'm gonna send this message
Yeah.
to my dad. Here's what it says. Does that sound okay? Like you're not doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just letting
So
him
we
know
know
we
she
got
sent a
home safe.
message. Yeah,
Yeah.
we know she sent a message letting him know that, but we don't know any more details.
Yeah.
I just was wondering if I needed to cry or not.
He responds, Gravedigger, glad to hear you're safe. Purple heart, crying cat face.
Aw, Dad, trying to use emojis.
Okie dokie. And that is where we will call it tonight. We can discuss offline what our plans are for next week. I have a couple of ideas, depending upon what you guys want to do. But for those of you who are watching this, thank you. We hope you enjoyed this session. We play weekly-ish. Wednesday nights, and sessions get uploaded when I get around to it, usually Wednesday night when we're done playing, or Thursday. If you want to see more of this shenanigans, this group, like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.